Hi everyone, I'm Steve Sutcliffe, and as you can see I've got the 132nd Trumpeter Harrier GR7 on the bench, and this is going to be my entry into the RAF 100 SIG. It's going to be built as Jedi 1, which was the call sign of the Harrier of one of the Harriers that took part in the final flight past of the Harriers before they were retired. So anyway, I'll move the box, and as you can see I've got a lot of parts already laid out. I've kind of jumped ahead a little bit because you don't really want to see me sit and sand and cut parts off sprue. So as with all builds, part one starts with a cockpit, which is made up of all these bits down here. So I'm just going to quickly assemble it, and then we'll think about painting it. Okay, so first of all we've got the cockpit floor, so we just need to make sure we're getting the right direction. There's a couple of pedals we need to put in first, so see what the fit's like. It's quite a good fit, so I'll just push them in and then I'll put a bit of glue in from the underside. Not the most exciting pedals, to be honest, not much detail, but then again you're not going to see them. So a bit of glue on the underside, make sure they're all right. I've got to leave the control stick out because I'm going to paint that off. I don't want to put that in. If you paint it kind of out of the cockpit on its own, all the little switches and buttons, we should be able to really pick them out with detail with the paintbrush, just to make it really nice looking. Okay, so we've got this bit. Now this should goes at the front, but we need to put the two sides on first. So that one goes there. I'll put some glue on from the underside. Oh, it's just come loose. Just hold it a moment. And put the other side on. I've got to say there's quite a bit of nice detail actually on the side. Right, I'll just pick this up. We will get it there. Okay. Put the glue in there straight away. Just hold it, and then I'm going to put the front part on. It just slots in there. Just need to push it together a bit more glue. Right, and then we've just got the rear bulkhead to go on. There's a couple of, oh well, there's one locating pin. There should be two, but there's only one. So we'll put that one in. and then get the glue on. Same for the other side. I'll just hold this just for a moment, just while the glue bites. I think by looking at the detail, with some careful painting, this is going to look really nice. I'll just keep pushing it together, make sure it's all nice. Now we do have the two side panels, all the different knobs and switches on. I'm going to paint these first before I put them into the model, just for ease of access really. There is some really nice raised detail, so we should be able to pick them out and make it look quite good. Same too with the instrument panel. It's got two MFDs and various switches, so again, careful painting, that should look really nice at the end. We do need to add the heads-up display at the top, which is photo etch and a clear part, but we can do that in a little while. Now, one thing I am doing is adding a resin seat. Now, this is the Martin Baker Mark 12. It's made by Wolfpack specifically for the Trumpeter GR7. So, just open this up. I'll rip it open, I think. There we go. Right to one side. There is some basic instructions. Tells you what colour to paint it, and there is two resin parts. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Let's get rid of that. Okay, there's a couple of little smaller resin pieces on here. Looks like a little grab handle that goes between the pilot's legs, and then there's a couple of little levers which we'll need to figure out where they go. It's not that clear, to be honest, on the instructions, if you can call them instructions. It's just two photographs. Right, now looking at that, I cannot figure out where them two little bits go. So what I might have to do is actually go on their website and see if we can find better photographs. That way I can zoom in on them. But for the time being, what we'll do is remove the casting block. Now I'll use my X-Acto saw to do the cut. As you can see, there's a bit of excess resin. Just use my knife to point. There's a bit of excess resin there. But we'll do that, we'll tie that up afterwards. But basically we've got to make the cut directly under that little piece there. Now this could be quite fun. One thing I hate doing is sewing, and this is quite a lump of resin to get off actually. Right, so if I keep that there, we'll just go for it and see how we get on. Okay, we're almost through. Yeah, there we go. That's one of my better cuts actually. Now the important bit now is getting rid of this dust. Resin dust is not very nice. I usually, to be honest with you, put a wet piece of kitchen roll and saw on top of that. But what we've got to do this time is I'm just got to get my, see what we've got to hand. I'll just use a bit of this. I've just got a little bit of airbrush thinner and I'm just got to just moisten it. And this is just to stop it, all these bits of dust going airborne. I know it's, some people probably laughing at the way I do this, but it just makes it easier for clean up. And I just wipe, and then it all just sticks to a bit of kitchen roll, and then you're okay. And you can give your bench a good wipe at the same time. And I always just give the seat a little wipe, get all this dust. There we go. Get that bit there. Right, so next we just need to tidy these little bits off and just make it a little bit tidy. So I'm just going to use a little razor saw, just cut along here, and then that'll just snap off, and the same at the other side. Now this, by the way, this razor saw is by RAF Productions, R-Dub or what they call it. It comes with a little saw and a photo etch and this little holder and some screws, and you just put it in a Swan Morton scalpel blade handle. They're really good. There's different teeth, different fineness and that, and they're really sharp and they do a great job at cutting resin. Right, so that's that. One thing we do need to check is make sure it fits in the tub. If it don't, we can then think, why isn't it fitting in, and we can just sand away some of the detail to make sure. But as you can see, a bit of pressure and it's gone in. So that's how it'll look. I much prefer the resin seats as well. They've got the moulded on seat belts, so you can add a little bit of shadow in, and they look so much better than these photo etch ones that just do not look like seat belts. I know we all add them, but they're, unless you've really annealed them and softened them and bent them, they just don't look right, do they? So I think resin ones, careful painting, really do look good. Right, so we'll take that out. So that's all ready for painting. So what I'll do, I'll just carry on with construction just to show you what we've got. So next up, we've got to do the front wheel well. So I'll just get the right page of my instructions, otherwise we could end up in all sorts of trouble. Right, first up, the wheel. Wheel comes in two halves, so it's just quickly glue it together. You do get a rubber tyres, vinyl tyres, so but we can go ahead and paint the wheel and then add the tyre at a later stage. Okay, just a little bit more glue. Right, now this is where we've got to follow instructions, or we could end up going wrong, because we need to put these parts in the centre of the strut. This is the front undercarriage, so you take that, and then we've got this part here. Now this, I'll use that half, just follow the instructions, fits it on the inside, and you've got that bit needs to face the front. So just a little bit of glue to hold it in place. Right, then we need to put that into here, but I don't want to glue it at this stage. and then we can add the other half of the strut. So I'll just move that up there, make sure it's all. There we go. Now it's just a matter of getting this bottom bit lined up, like so. And then plenty of glue. I can already see by looking at this I'm probably going to have to put quite a bit of filler here and there on this. And put some on the back. Now what I'm going to have to do is add this section, which it's a good job I noticed this. So we've got the light going that way. Now this bit goes on there like so. So that slots over that. Right, so I'll just start this again, and we're getting a. So we're making a bit of a mess. I should have put this on first because that slots and that goes on there like so. Make sure that's still in there. Right, I need to put that back on there. And then put this back on. Which goes that way. There we go. Stay in. There we go. So I'll just apply a bit more glue. But I can just see little gaps that even applying tons of pressure to try and get the two halves to mate together, you know, it will need filling, unfortunately. And what I'll also do is look online, get some good reference pictures, and if there's any kind of key bits of wiring going down to the light, etc., we'll add them, because it just adds another dimension, a little bit more interest to your model. There we go. And you can see there's a gap just here. We'll probably need careful, just a little bit of filler, but definitely going to have to put some in there. Right. Okay, and then we've got this. There's another light that goes on, and there's a little section just above the main landing gear light, and this slots into there. Now I'm just going to use my knife just to push it in there, make sure it's all nice and straight. There we go. But yeah, a little bit of filler's got to be needed just above, in this little area just above the lights. Then I've got to figure out how I'm going to sand inside the actual main light itself. Okay, and just got the one more part, and that goes on the back. On there, it's a little like so. So I'll put some glue on first, put some in this hole. It's a good job it goes there, it saves me a bit of filling. That slots in there like so. Put a bit more glue on. Push it down. And then all we need to do later on, the wheel, these have got plenty of give, so you just kind of slot your wheel in and let it click in place. But obviously I need to paint it first, add the tyre, then we'll slot it in. Okay, we do have a wheel bay here, but I want to paint the landing gear, get it all sanded first, paint it, and then once it's painted we'll paint the inside of these and then we'll join it all up. Okay, so next we've got, if you think on the Harrier, you've got your front, rear, undercarriage, and then it's got the two outriggers. So we've got to do the rear next. Again, I'm taking the wheel off actually. It's the same again with the wheel. You get two wheels which just slot on, so there's no problems there. Now the undercarriage leg itself is a bit trickier to assemble. Got quite a few parts to it, so I need to keep these in the same order I cut them off. So we've got all these bits and we need to put them all together so it makes it the undercarriage. Right, so if I take this half, turn it that way. Now first up we've got this little bit here, which according to this, alright, so that goes into there like so. Now what I'm going to do is just add a little dab of glue as I go along. If I don't, the parts are just going to fall out. There's no way you'll be able to assemble this with moving parts. Right, so we put that bit in. Right, then we've got this here. Where does this go? See, it don't really tell you where that goes, but it does have these either side. Right, so that goes on that side. This one goes on that side. The other way. So that goes like that. Oh, right, I've got it. So they're going there like so. I hope you can see this. Okay, then we need to put this little piece on this side. So if I turn it over, it goes on the rear, so this goes like so as one there. So I'll add a bit more glue. Just put that in there. Right. We'll have to put a little bit of glue to stop these moving. Same on that side. Okay. That's on. Yeah, it is on wrong, isn't it? Yeah. That's it. Now, this part should somehow go into there, which I bet it goes up there. And that bit fixes into that bit we glued on earlier. Right, I think if I hold it like that, some glue in there. Or does it? Or does that go in the front? No, it definitely goes in there. I am right. There we go. That's it. So that's how it's looking inside. Just put a bit of glue. I'm just showing in case anyone else is building this kit. So that's how it's looking. And then what we need to do is bring this half on. So I need a bit of glue in there. So that glues into there. And then we need to bring these two halves together. Ah, oh, that's popped out now. There, that's got that back. Got ya. Oh no, I haven't. Right, I need some tweezers. And I bet I can't find them now. There they are. So we need to just join that onto there. That's it. That's like that. Okay, so now I need to start putting glue on here. So I'm going to be very, very generous with the glue. Because the last thing you want is your undercarriage coming to bits, and because of the design of it, I just want to make sure it's tightly joined together. And there you go. Oh no, it's coming off of that bit now. I'll probably have to clamp this just to get the glue on the front. Let's see if I can find something. Right, I just need a kind of a clip or something that I can just hold this bit together with. This is probably where I can't find any. So let's have a look. Bit too big. Sorry, I've got kind of a little container underneath my bench, and I've got various different size clips in there. And it's typical, the only one I'm finding at the moment is a giant bulldog clip, but it might do. There we go. So I can just hold that together. But you can see how it works. Obviously, when there's no weight on the aircraft, this will drop down, the hydraulic part just there. So it's a nice design. But I'm just going to leave this now clamped up and let the glue fully go off before I even think of painting it. But again, we'll need to sand it, tidy it all up, make it look nice. Now what we can do is assemble the wheel bay. Only part we can't do, this is where the actual strut fixes into, so we can't add that just yet. But we can join the other three sides up. So that goes that way. They'll glue together like so. Right, so I'll just get this. To be honest, it's not the best really. There's definitely no locating tabs or anything. It's just got to be glue the bits together and hope for the best. Usually people like Tamiya, they have kind of little locating tabs to make sure it all fits together really nice. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my thicker Tamiya white top glue for this. So I'm going to just brush it all the way down here. I like when I'm doing things where there's no locating tabs. Beauty of white top is it's a really strong glue, and And I don't know, I just find it kind of grips a lot better than the extra thin for that initial lining up process when you try to get all the bits nicely lined up. And then you can go, oh, it's had a bit more of the extra thin afterwards. So we'll just pop that on there like so. Make sure it lines up at the top. Okay, a bit more of the glue down this side. And then put this side on as well. Ah, that's why. I think it's, yeah, I think it's supposed to go on the inside. Ah, that explains a lot actually. Yeah, it goes on the inside. Ah, no wonder. Alright, so I'll take that back, trumpeter. It goes on the inside, so you will get quite a nice join on there. Oh, thank God for that. That makes it so much better. So go ahead, put the extra thin in. Put it down this way on the bench. Make sure it goes nicely in the corners, either side, and then join them together. And we'll put some glue to join the two bits. Still though, it's a bit of a weird way of doing wheel bay. I don't know, because if you push it right up against the edges, I don't know if the middle joins up properly. Right, what I need, again, this is where I probably can't find them, there they are. I need my photo etch pliers. Now the reason I need these is just to put pressure so I can pinch the bits together. Because if it's on the inside, obviously we need to get a nice join, but it's not. You can see how one part's warped. We just pinch it there. So I've got that a bit. If you, I don't know, if you put it, the problem I'm having, hopefully you can all see this. I'll make sure, do my best to get it so you can see. Right, if I hold it at this angle, just there, you can see that this bit is badly warped. Okay, that really bends, which means it's not joining up. There's a big gap just there. Just try it again. So we're getting a big gap down here. So what we need to do is make sure this side joins up and makes a nice tight against there. And it's the same on the other side as well. Just try again, pinching the sides together. So with your pliers, all I'm doing is just putting pressure to try and bring the sides together. Which I have done on that side, and we'll do the same again on the other side. Plenty of glue again first. And we'll just try pinch it together. Oh, I might have to just use my tweezers. There we go. I know it's just a wheel bit, and to be honest, we're not going to see it, but you know, still, it would be nice if it fitted together better. But yeah, you can see there, I'm sure you can, how badly warped them sides are, how they come in. You know, so when we put that end on, if I put that there, as if it fits in at all. Oh, that side isn't as bad actually. But again, there's still a nice gap just down there along the top, down this side as well. But to be honest, when it's in situ, we're not going to notice these gaps. But I don't know. I think the sides could have been straighter and better put together, because you can see now where it's coming apart along the top. I'll just put a bit more glue. To be honest, if I'd have been trumpeter, what I would have done, instead of having these L-shaped pieces where they join on that side, maybe two sides, a top and two ends, probably been a lot stronger and would have gone together better. But what I'm going to do, I'll have to leave that now just to dry and go off. So what we can do is just start adding a bit of grey to the cockpit and prime the seat. Right, so we need to get the right colour. Now it says it's aircraft grey, which is H57. I'll just see if there is a paint chart, which I can't find. Hang on. We do get some really nice paint charts. Okay, so the colour we need doesn't say, it's on the instructions there. No, is it on there? Okay, so which one was it? It was H57, which is this one. Oops. Now, it's a light grey. Now, the trouble I have with this colour is, one, I can't get lid off without finding my tool, but it's gloss. It is US Navy aircraft. Now, this Guernsey colour being gloss, if we were to apply this to the cockpit, we're going to wait days for it to dry. Now, I do believe you can get away with using XF53 if I've got some, or XF19. I've got 53, it's a neutral grey, so I'm going to use that instead. That's if it's light enough. If not, I'll just use sky grey. That's too dark. It must be 54 then. Let's have a look, see how this looks. Again, too dark, so I'm going to go with XF19, which is sky grey, which, to be honest, I think is quite a good match. So I've got a bit of kitchen roll. Okay. Right, I'm going to use my usual mix if I can find the thinner of. I'm going to use Tamiya X20A. I usually go about 60% thinner to paint, and I'll spray around 25 psi. Okay, I'll just give this a quick stir. Okay, hopefully the paint's thick enough. So a little test spray, make sure we're getting good flow. Just move it up here so you guys can see a little better. Right, first thing, just blow away any dust from sanding from when we were cleaning up. And then just start misting the paint on. And to be honest, the colour's very similar to a plastic anyway, so you're not really noticing. It won't really show up for you guys. There we go. So what we need to do is, I'm just going to spray the bottom of the control column. And I'll just put that back on my mat. Then we'll do the seat. Now, the way I usually do seats is like this. I need my drill. To make it easier, I always take a drill and drill a hole in the bottom. Don't go too deep because you don't want to drill through the other side. Then I'll get myself a cocktail stick. This one's already been used before for painting. I just need to cut it down a bit. So you cut the pointy bit off. Then what we can do is put it into the hole. Give it a turn. And then there we go. You know, we've got somewhere we can hold and paint the seat without getting paint all over his hand. And then once it's painted straight into a piece, I've got some polystyrene foam packing, and you can just use that and put it in there. I do this with every bit of resin, even down to when I'm doing armour. You know, your little storage bags and boxes. Just drill a hole in back. You never got to see it. If you don't got to see it, put a hole in there, and it's just a great way of holding your parts while you paint them. So again, we'll just start spraying the seat just to prime it. Don't forget, I've got them little bits that I'll need to put on the seat once I find out 100% where they all go. Even just a little bit of paint really brings out all the detail. There we go, so there you go. Like I say, careful brushing, get some nice pin washers on there, and that'll really come to life and look really nice. Okay, I'm just going to now go ahead and give the instrument panel a coat of paint. Just hold it at the bottom. My tweezers. Again, I will look at reference pictures just to make sure I get all the colours right, and that includes all the combing and any background colour, get all the switches right so we can really bring it alive. Just double check this, make sure we've got paint everywhere, which looks like we have. Around them areas there, just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, I'll just put my airbrush to one side. Right, you also, with this kit, we do actually get a full engine. Now, it's a really nice Pegasus engine. I hope I've got the right one or I'll look through. Well, that comes with this kit. The only trouble is you'll never see it. So anyway, I've built it up, as you can see. This is what we get. And, you know, you've got basis there for a beautiful engine. It doesn't really, to be honest, this would need a lot of sanding and getting all the metal work right, but you never ever see it. There is the option to have a panel off, I believe, on the underside, but you're not going to see any of this nice detail, so it's a bit of a waste really. And to be honest, I wish they'd put more effort into the weapons and getting them right rather than putting a big engine in. So basically we won't be seeing this. However, you need to assemble, especially the centre part, because the actual exhaust will fit onto these points here. These twist, so you'll be able to pose the exhaust in whatever position you want. So we do need to put this onto the inside of the aircraft. But like I say, I just wanted to show you what you do get with the kit and assemble it so you can see. Maybe you could find a way, just put these on, glue the exhaust on and display this at the side. You know, there is options. The only bit we will see is the fan right at the very beginning. Obviously the intake will come in either side, and then you'll see this area. So we'll need to paint this all white and paint the blades silver. You might be able to see there were 4 really chunky ejector pin marks on either side. So what I've done, I used some styrene filler, which is, if you don't know, is basically you take some styrene card and you drop it into a bottle of extra thin, Tamiya extra thin, or you could put it into the white top, and what that does, it will then dissolve the plastic and you end up with a tub of gunk like this. So all it is glue and melted styrene, because as you know, when you put your Tamiya thin on, it melts the plastic and that forces the weld. So what we end up with is this really thick gooey mess, and it's the best filler you'll ever get because it's basically styrene. It's what the kit's made of. You know, I can't take credit. Phil came up with the idea and told us all about it. I know a lot of you already use it, but I just thought I'd mention it. So you just leave that to go off, let it fully harden, and then you can sand it back. Now to get in here, it was a bit tricky, so I used some of Phil's sanding sponge sheet. Beauty of this is, obviously you can scrunch it up in your hand, but you can put it in there and you can sand around and get into all those, because it's quite an awkward shape, awkward surface to get in, so you can really get in there. Just hold your sheet up and just twist it round, and the sponge conforms to all the different curves, so it's really good. So if you haven't bought any, you really do, and it's also good for intakes because you can roll it up, and then obviously you've virtually got a circle and just pop that in your intake and away you go. And as you can see there where I've cut some off before, you can just cut a little bit off if you need it for different jobs, so it's well worth getting yourself some of that. And no, I'm not on commission either. So there you go. So what I'll do now is, off camera, I'll tidy all these up, and we'll get spraying some, and then in the next episode I'll show you what I've done with the cockpit. I'll show you how I paint the dials if I can. That way you can get to see little tips. Got a few good little tips for painting dials and switches. I'll make sure they all are undercarriage, and then we can start assembling the actual the cockpit, the fuselage, getting it all joined together. You may have noticed I've already got the nose section off, so that just gives you a bit of sense of the size of how big this kit's got to be if that's just the nose. The one thing I'll mention now, actually, this plastic, I don't know. Now, I've given this a gentle rub, but I don't know how well the camera will pick this on. I might have to just move it around a bit. It's this really glossy, but it's really awful surface. Now, it looks as though they've put too much mold agent or something in there, and the plastic's cut. It's just giving this kind of funny texture. It's nothing major. It just needs to mean that I'm going to have to basically sand the whole front end. There's quite a few little scratches just to get rid of this surface texture and just to make it look nice. Bit of a pain, but nothing we can't handle. So until the next episode, happy modelling.